Your eyes do not deceive you. What you read is actually real. A group of hackers that call themselves gay furry hackers have breached a US nuclear lab and are threatening to release all the private information that they stole unless their demands are met. And their demand is that this lab start researching how to create a real life cat girl. Dear God, this might just be the most entertaining story I've ever seen, and it's truly got to be what God envisioned when he granted humans with the ability of free will. Because golly, this is just a golden story. But let's go ahead and just dive straight into this. The laboratory, the nuclear lab that was breached, was the Idaho National Laboratory, which is the INL, one of the largest labs in the United States, and they did confirm themselves this week that they had been hacked. And the group behind the data breach was obviously the gay furry hackers, but their legitimate official name is Siege Security, aka SiegeSec. And like I said, they only had one demand, that the INL put all of its efforts and research into creating real-life cat girls. And from the things I've been reading on this situation, a bunch of people don't really think they're that serious, but they just breached a US nuclear lab. They hacked into a nuclear lab. So I think they're fucking serious. So I wouldn't pussyfoot around. I wouldn't goof off. I would get right on this right now, make it a top priority, or else your information's seemingly gonna get leaked, you know? Chop chop. But it definitely is understandable how they could be seen as not serious just from their communication style, because this is the way that they announced that they hacked into the INL on their Twitter. They said, meow meow. The sexy hackers at SiegeSec just breached the INL, Idaho National Laboratory, divulging thousands of data points such as full name, date of birth, email address, phone number, social security number, address, employment info, and more. Cat smiley face. And SiegeSec, I'll just call them the gay furry hackers for simplicity for the rest of this video. The gay furry hackers are also quoted as saying, "We're willing to make a deal with the INL. If they research creating IRL cat girls, we will take down this post." This just has to be the silliest ransom ever. Just imagine being someone that works at the INL and you hear that the place you work at has been breached, your private information stolen, and the demands of the hackers that stole it isn't money or recognition or whatever. It's that you start researching making cat girls, making characters that were like created in anime. That is your task. That's what you have to do to save your private information from being leaked to the masses. And naturally, people started asking, why would you do this? Why would you hack into a nuclear lab, threaten to release their information if they don't start researching cat girls? And they actually made a tweet about that, saying, many people ask why for the INL breach. We are cats. Intricacies such as why do not concern us. So yeah, the shtick does get old kinda quick, but if you just look at this situation on the surface level, you glance by it real quick, it's funny, it's fun, it's a goof. It is also highly illegal, and I would say they're definitely at the tippity top of Santa's naughty list now for doing something like this, especially so close to Christmas. You can't do enough good deeds to get back on the nice list after this. But also, aside from them, the world government, not I'm thinking of One Piece. The US government is going to be on your ass now, big time. Because you can't just breach in, hack into a nuclear lab and expect there not to be any consequences whatsoever. If you do a data breach on a US government facility, they're going to flop their big government dongs out and they're going to hunt you down until they can fuck the shit out of you. And you may be wondering why they specifically chose the INL to breach, to target in this situation. And there really isn't an answer for that besides they wanted to, because someone replied and said, seriously, you hack a lab that's trying to combat climate change, and your only explanation as to why is, I'm a cat. Are you 12? And they said the INL is responsible for a lot more than climate change solutions. They were not targeted due to their involvement in climate change mitigation. And then they quoted saying, nuclear plants, control system, cybersecurity, vehicle testing, bioengineer robotics, nuclear waste processing, more. And then they kind of got roasted, if I'm being honest. They said, robot voice, I'm an angsty 12-year-old who is angry at the system, but cannot tell you why or what I mean by the system. Is there a Twitter button I can push to call your mom to come pick you up? Damn. But honestly, in my opinion, the fact that they're so clearly not really taking it that serious, it seems, role playing as a cat on Twitter when replying to people about the situation of them hacking a US nuclear lab, it's so funny to me. It makes it so much more funny that they're seemingly just doing it for just anarchy purposes, just to cause madness and mayhem. This is something that the Joker would truly be proud of, and honestly, this is like something I could see the Legion of Doom doing. It's just pure supervillain behavior, and I love it. I think this whole situation was so fun to look into, so fun to see initially. Gay furry hackers hacked into a US nuclear lab, and their demands were that they create IRL cat girls, or they're going to release all the information that they breached. I never thought I would say half of the words that I said in this video, especially the phrase gay furry hackers and breaching into a nuclear lab. Never thought those words would ever come out of my mouth in the same sentence at least. But other than that, that's practically the whole situation, and I will catch you in the next one.